Hello, lovely people. It's Alex from Active Happy Mama, and today we are having our live show, Active Mama live show number 4 already, and we are going to talk with amazing Anna Ward. So I'm waiting for Anna to connect with me live here. So when I see you, Anna, I will invite you to do the screen share. I have like beautiful roses right behind me. They are not mine, however, they are so beautiful, so I decided to share them on this live video. All right, so where is Anna? Yes, I see you here, darling. So let me just... Okay, so Anna will be with us in just a moment. Yay! Hello, hello, beautiful lady. How are you doing?
Hey, good, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's a great honor.
Well, it's a great honor to have you here. I'm very much like with my son, although I put like blinds on, but I don't know, I still look like... So anyway, it's such a crazy hot weather in Poland right now. I don't know what's like in UK, because I heard that there are heavy rains and thunderstorms. Is that true?
It was last week, yeah, earlier on, but it seemed to be okay now. Perfect for running today, yeah.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so let me introduce you just quickly, and then, you know, you will be like the star of the show, so you will be sharing your story. So, you know, I'm so honored to have Anna here on the show because she's absolutely amazing. Not only she's a mom of 2 kids, I have 1, so you have 2, so respect for that, first of all. You have 2 sons, which is like, one is 2-year-old and another one is 4-year-old. Mm-hmm. And so far, you've run 12 marathons.
Yeah. Yes.
13 half marathons in 9 different countries. Yeah. I don't know how many 5Ks, 10Ks or whatever, but you know, it doesn't matter. Like, you are absolutely a superhero to me and to many people who are watching us. So thanks everybody who is live. Send us some hearts and some likes, like, you know, to Anna, because being live is quite challenging. So she definitely loves your support. If you would like to ask any questions or anything, put them under the video so we will get to you. So Anna, honestly, like, you know, what you've done, what you've accomplished so far is absolutely amazing, and, you know, standing ovation to you. And I just want to like talk to you to ask how you've done it and how you've done it alongside motherhood, before being pregnant, during pregnancy, after, and how you manage it all, because it's absolutely incredible. So first of all, I would like to ask you if you can tell us a little bit more how your running journey started, when it started, and how it was. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about that.
So that goes back to like about 10 years ago. I started running when I first met my husband, and you know, we've been for a couple of runs, and then I signed up for a park run and then first 10K, and you know, kind of moved on. So within 3-4 years, I've applied for my first London marathon, and a lot of people know that I've been quite lucky in the ballot, and I got placed. I got placed the first time I applied, which made me run it, because everyone wants to run London marathons. So I had extra motivation to run the marathon, and that's how I fell in love with the whole distance. Yeah, I guess my husband was quite an inspiration for me in the beginning, because he did the New York Marathon, and I thought that was like, to run a marathon is something amazing, and I couldn't achieve it for a very long time. And well, here I am. Like, obviously, like, so I've been running for about 10 years now, but I went through different, you know, stages. For I had all this time to myself, and I could run every day and do whatever I wanted. And then I was pregnant, and I have to say I completely stopped running when I was pregnant. I did other exercise, but running didn't agree with me during pregnancy. And then post-pregnancy, I was happy to run again. And luckily, both my boys love being in a pram and being pushed. So I'm lucky to do that with them. Yeah.
So you're running at the moment with 2 of them in the pram?
I usually take one or the other. I've got a double running buggy, but it's not as comfortable as the other one. And I guess anyone who's got 2 and 4-year-old knows that they like to argue sometimes, and it's not the easiest to sync them to be happy to go out at the same time. So I tend to take one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually my 4-year-old is very active, and he recently he was given a bike for his 4th birthday, and I can't wait to start a new journey where I can run and he can cycle next to me. But obviously that's in a couple of years, but that will be a next thing on my running list.
Wow. Oh, well, he's been growing up watching both parents being quite active, so I think it's quite natural for him to be active as well, right?
I hope so. Yeah, I'm very proud. I had my proud mummy moment because he ran his first park run the other week, and he completed it. And yeah, he was really competitive as well, and he tried to overtake small children, but we made it. Yeah, we'd done it together, but he was definitely happy to finish, and like I'm so proud that hopefully he will follow this route.
Oh my God. How much is that? How long is the distance for the park run for kids?
I was just 2 kilometers, so
Well,
in
for
my
the small
local,
legs.
yeah, without any training, like you know, without any proper training, he's just done it. So that was pretty good. But in my local park run, they do 2 loops. So I was hoping he's just going to do one as 1 kilometer run, but he managed to do both. And yeah, so it was a very, very proud moment for me.
Oh my God, this is amazing, and more to come. Yeah. More like
Hopefully.
that. All right. So wow, amazing. This is I love it. I love that the parents are active, and they are such a great role model to your children, because children see, children do, and they watch you. They watch what you are doing, and they follow your steps, and it's just so natural for them. And it's so great because it's such a proud mommy moment and such a proud daddy moment as well. So well done. So tell us, how did you go back to running after, your first pregnancy and, competing, in the marathons and
Um,
crazy runs? How did you do that?
so I just listened to my body. I think although I didn't run during pregnancy, I've always said I wanted to run afterwards. And I did other exercise. I did a bit of yoga and I swam. But after I gave birth, I I think I waited, I kept being on Google and checking how long do I have to wait after C-section to be able to do any exercise. And I think it was 8 weeks when I went for my first run. And I remember it exactly because my husband comes back on a train back home, and I took my little boy for a walk. We met my husband at the train station, and I left the boy, my son, with my husband, and then I ran back home, which was exactly a mile. And it took me just over 10 minutes to run back home. And after about 8 months with no running, I really, really felt it the next day. But it was a good feeling. It made me happy again. And then I never followed any plan. So I just ran and listened to my body. So I increased my distance by a minute, every couple of days. And I ran for 11 minutes, 12 minutes until I got to 20, and then went off to do my first park run. And it just followed, and it felt natural. And yeah, I was hoping to do exactly the same with my second baby after having second baby. So I waited 8 weeks to start running, which I did. However, my knees were hurting, I wasn't feeling great. So I needed more time after the second baby. And I just listened to my body, had a bit more rest, and then carried on running a little bit later. But I think it's important not to overdo it and not to go straight for great results and going for personal best, but just enjoy what you do. And yeah, that's how I followed.
This is so important what you just said, that, listen to your body, because especially when you were a runner before, you kind of knew what you could do. But after not running during the pregnancy and going for a run after 8 months, as you said, this is like a completely different story. Sometimes, you stop running for like a couple of weeks, you go and you can feel it that the form is not the same. So after a few months, it's challenging as well. So, sometimes we just want to push ourselves too much and then suffer. But, when you just do it like gradually, one step at a time, like 1 minute at a time, you said, and then, the results will come. So how did you like manage to do that training, like, after like having a baby, not sleeping through the night, probably. I'm not sure whether you've been breastfeeding or not. Like, how was it? Because, mommy's life is quite challenging, right?
Yeah, so I did breastfeed for the first year. So I stopped when with both boys when they were a year old, and what did I do? I set myself realistic goals. I knew I can't really follow any strict plan because I'm one of those people who's not very organized, and I like to change. Like, I like to keep everything open. However, I do stick even now to 3, like I say, basic trainings a week. So I do. So for me to do 3, so I set myself a goal to do those 3 runs a week. So I do interval training, like tempo run and a long run every week. And if I manage to do any gym class in between, or if I do a DVD class exercise at home, that's great. But I kind of think that's a bonus. And if I do more, that's great. But if I can't, I'm happy as long as I do those 3 runs a week. I'm happy with that. And there were weeks where I was exhausted and I planned to run on Friday, but I couldn't, so I changed it to Saturday. And then, you know what it's like when you don't get enough sleep and you're tired, and sometimes babies just cry and you don't know why. And it's quite tough because we have a great family friend support, but we don't have much family living around us. So all of the childcare is between me and my husband. So finding time is sometimes difficult, but just I think it's important to set like realistic goals and don't have too much expectations. So for me, sticking to those 3 runs a week was just enough. And if there were weeks where I could go out and do body pump at the gym, that was great, and I was very proud of myself. But I didn't set myself to do it every single week, because I knew if I did, I would definitely fail, because I'm not someone who sticks to a plan. I managed to run my first half marathon after Oscar when he was about 7 months, and that followed. That was back in Lisbon, so that was our first family holiday abroad, and it was lovely. It was good to have my husband and Oscar supporting me at the end. And then 3 months later, when Oscar was 10 months, I did my first marathon. I think it was Portsmouth, first marathon after pregnancy. And yeah, that was great.
Yeah, the feeling of accomplishment, I know what you mean. It's like, when you are a mama and you are just crossing that finish line of the half marathon and then the marathon, it's like only you know what you've been through. Not sleeping through the night, breastfeeding, sometimes not really feeling like going for a run, but then here you are at the finish line with your medal, and the feeling of accomplishment is amazing. So I know what you feel. It's absolutely amazing, like what you just shared, because sometimes people feel like, oh my god, those moms, they run a marathon, they need to train like 7 times a week or like twice a day or something. And you are the perfect example, showing that you can still do it, and you run like 3 times a week. Any other classes are a bonus, as you are saying, and you still manage to complete those marathons, right? So it's not that you need to reorganize your whole life upside down. You can still do it and have time for your family and for other bits, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think everyone can do it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more, like, because of course, like, when you're a mom, your life is changing. You need to look after your little boy and then your second one when he was born. So why did you keep running? Like, what running is giving you actually? Like, why do you do that? Because you need to fit it in your busy mommy schedule alongside, family. I know that you're also working full time, right?
No, I'm lucky to just work 2 days a week. So, but I look after the boys the rest of the time. So, but yeah,
but like,
it's I work around, yeah.
Yeah, so you still like you still have family and everything. Like, so why are you doing this? Like, what it's giving you?
So I think I've always been quite competitive, or maybe not with others. And I know I'm not a great athlete, and I wasn't born to win marathons or I don't know what else. But I like to improve myself, and I think when I first got a place in London Marathon and I ran it, I think I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't train that great, and my knee was hurting. And I don't know, I finished it in just under 5 hours. And that was before babies, and I was happy with it just to finish, but I felt like, oh, I can do it. And everyone is running a marathon in under 4 hours, so I'm sure I can do it. So straight after London Marathon, I signed up for Berlin. And 6 months later, I ran Berlin, and I was hoping to do it again around 4 hours. And that didn't happen. And it just, every marathon I kept going, thinking like, this is going to be better, this is going to be better. And I kept improving by a few minutes each time. And until eventually, on my 7th attempt in Rome, I managed to break the magic 4 hours, and I did Rome in 3 hours 50. And I've always, there was a time where I thought, after I complete a marathon in under 4 hours, I'll be happy to stop running. But actually, there's other goals, and I want to do other things, and it makes me happy. I love my children and I love looking after them, but sometimes after a whole day being busy and looking after, it's just nice to go outdoors and have this even half an hour to myself, and fresh air, and go around the block, and it just makes me feel so much better for it. And I think exercise is an important part of my life, and I don't know what I would do without it.
Yeah, this is so great because when I'm talking to different like moms, like you all say the same things, and I absolutely agree with that. We love our children to bits, but we just need to have time on our own. And when you just go for a run and you do things that you love, something that is important for you, something that you care about, and you have this me time where nobody is pulling your hands, arms, or anything like mama this, mama that, then this is your time. And if you have like any frustrations around motherhood, you just go for the run and you come back as a better mama and better person. I think that it helps. Yeah,
definitely.
Plus I also believe that when you're a mom, you need to have so much energy to look after your boys, your children. And if you don't look after your body, if you don't eat properly, if you don't exercise, actually you will not be able to have this energy. You can be like miserable, you can be tired constantly. So those endorphins and that energy outdoors, as you are saying, is so important for general life.
Definitely. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I also loved like what you shared when you said that unfortunately, like, you lost both of your parents to the lifestyle reasons, and that's why you would like to be a good role model to your children. So if you can tell us a little bit more about that.
So I think the year where I actually started running, that coincided with the time where my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer. And like, I can't believe it now, but there was a few years in my life where I used to smoke, and I never was particularly unhealthy, but I think we all go through teenage years where you go out and maybe you drink a little bit too much, and that's definitely not part of me now. But I remember when my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer, I gave up with him. Unfortunately, he passed away a few months later, but I carried on not smoking and really got into running. It really helped me having a different focus in life. You know, we all go through difficult parts of our lives, and everyone goes through something. And you know, I kind of expected losing my dad, and I knew maybe there was a lifestyle. He was a heavy smoker. He had a stressful job, and there was lots of things going. But then when I lost my mum, also completely unexpectedly, I guess running was a bit part of my therapy, like just being able to go out for a run and, you know, have something else in life and clear your mind. It's, yeah, it's even today when I think, you know, I wish I had them, and I know I know that if my dad was still alive, he would be counting all my marathons and watching me how I ran, and you know, that would be lovely. I know they're not around, but somewhere up there maybe helps me run my marathon under 4 hours. But yeah, definitely, I want to be a good role model for my children. I can see looking at them that they do what I want, what I do. They eat whenever I want to have something unhealthy, they would want to have something unhealthy. So it's all about balance. But I do want to show them that, you know, having good active lifestyle is good for you, and hopefully they will follow this way.
Oh yeah. I had like just like, you know, kind of tears in my eyes, like listening to you, because you know it's so sad like that you lost your parents, and but like as you said, like running was part of your therapy, and also it's like, you know, keeping you healthy and like your husband as well, and looking after yourself, giving like, you know, the great example like to your children. So all right, so Anna, tell us a little bit more about like how, when you, because you've run like 12 marathons at the moment, so you set a goal for yourself to kind of do like one each year, but you started 10 years ago, so you've done more in 1 year, as I'm, you know, as my mom is working correctly. So how is it working for you now?
I don't really know. So I started 2012, and it just happened to be one a year, and then I think last year I went completely crazy, and I did 5, which 5 marathons, yeah.
In 1 year?
In 1 year, yes. I did Rome in beginning of April, and 3 weeks later I did London. But the only reason I did London was because I had placed in a ballot for a year before, but I had to defer it, and you can't defer it twice. So that was my excuse to run 2 marathons in space of 3 weeks. And then I signed up for Poznan Marathon later on in the year last year. Poznan is my home. I live just outside of Poznan in Poland. So that was my home marathon. So I really always wanted to do a marathon in Poland, but somehow I ended up being in Poland a month before Poznan, and someone talked me into running another marathon in Wrocław. So these 2 marathons just happened in one go. And then at the end of the year, I had a story with Malaga Marathon, where in 2016 I went with my husband and my boys to run a Malaga Marathon, and that was very unfortunate because Malaga got flooded and the marathon was cancelled. So as I said earlier, I'm quite competitive, and I don't like when things don't go my way. And I've always said I want to go back to Malaga and run it, because it's not going to flood twice. So I went to Malaga completely on my own, and I ran it, and I came back. And that's how I completed 5 marathons in 1 year. I think it was maybe it was a bit too much, but I really enjoyed it. I think it would be too much to carry on running so much for like every year. And so far I did Vienna Marathon this year, and I'm making plans for second part of the year. So I definitely want to do a marathon in the second part of the year. And I do have plans, I think, but yeah, maybe 2 or 3, but definitely not 5.
Not
I think I was
5,
crazy.
okay. Well, wow, 5 is like, wait, well, okay, so I understand why you ended up with 12 marathons right now.
I think, yes, like last year added up, yes.
Yeah, added up. Well, but you had your personal best, as you said, like in Rome last year, right?
Yes, yeah.
No, you broke like 4 hours, like in Rome. Was it your personal best, like in Rome, or it was something better later?
No, it's 3:50 in Rome. Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's your personal best.
Yes, yeah, that's still my personal best. I still have great memories from Rome, but I have other things. I think now, like, well, because to qualify for London Marathon, you have to run 3:45 for my age group. So because I run London 3:50, it's just 5 minutes away. I think maybe I can train for that, and I don't know, see how it goes. But there's lots of thoughts at the back of my head, and yeah, there's lots of ideas, but you know how busy life gets. I don't know everything. Oh, sorry.
How are you choosing like your marathons? Is it like certain places in the world you want to go to, or you said like you wanted to go to Poland, to your home country, to your hometown, and like London, of course. Like I don't know if you are going for like world marathon majors or your favorite places in the world. Oh.
I think eventually I would love to run like all the major marathons, but I would like to share that experience with my family. I would love the boys go with me, and I feel taking a 2 and 4-year-old to New York or Chicago would be like a bit too much for them, and I wouldn't enjoy flying with them, so I don't think that would be a great idea. I think like eventually I would love to do those marathons, and that would be great, but at the moment I'll stick to European marathons. And I think like so far everything happened just talking to people. Only last week I did a 10K in my hometown, in the town where I live now, and I bumped into a friend. Well, I shouldn't say friend, is another girl that I met in a local park run. And she came to my house and she saw my map where I put a little star in every country where I've run. And she said that she would love to do this, or she would love to go abroad and be able to, run a half marathon or somewhere in a different country. And we ended up chatting to each other for a few hours, and somehow we booked flights to Vilnius. So I'm running Vilnius Marathon in September with one of my friends, who's also is a mom, and she's running a half marathon. I'm going for a full marathon, so it will be her first one abroad, and my 13th. But that's like all my choices for marathons are very random. Like I went to Vienna because I have an old friend living in Vienna, so I went to visit her. And next year I'm planning to go to Geneva, where I have my very best friend back from primary school in Poland, living there. And she's going to support me, and I'm going to run it. So I find it's a good excuse to go and visit old friends and family. I also have some cousins in Scotland and a cousin in Belgium, so I need to visit them as well before a marathon. So I haven't looked into that any further.
It's good excuse, like to go, to visit people, to visit places, and to run at the same time. Yeah, that's a great plan. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so I don't know what people think about it. It's probably crazy, but yeah, I like the idea of running in different places, and every marathon is special, and every country is so different, and I love the atmosphere, bumping into people, you know, in abroad races, a lot of people wear tops with their flags of their countries, and you know, bump into not just Polish people, but people from different countries. Everyone proud of being from where they are, and it's like one great community. And you meet so many people who do the running travels all around the world, and I think they're a lot more inspiring than I am. I only done a few marathons, you know, but one day it will come. Yeah,
that's the few. I like you said, like I don't know what people think, whether it's crazy, but it doesn't matter what people think. What matters is like what you think. For me, it sounds like a great idea to be able to combine your passion for running with your passion for travel, and like, you know, visiting also your friends all around the world. So, you know, the whole package, yeah, the whole package.
Yeah.
All right, Anna. So like, what's next for you? So you are saying that you are doing Vilnius, yeah, in September, and Geneva next year.
Yes, in May.
That's the plans like so far, right?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, maybe something in between. Like the thing is, now I know so many people who go running, and a few people mentioned to me going to Warsaw, so that's also tempting because I've never been there. Well, I've been to Warsaw, but not running. So you know, there's ideas going around my head, but there's lots of consideration. You know, yeah, at the end of the day, like, my boys and my family is a priority, and I do want to go somewhere with them as well. I want them to support me, and a lot of races do children's races at the same time, and I think my bigger boy is big enough to take part in races now, in the small children races. So I can't wait for him to join me.
He will love it, yeah, getting the medal.
Yeah.
Himself. Yeah, it's amazing. So how do you when you are training, like for your marathons, do you kind of follow, I don't know, are you training with the running coach, or you have like your plan that you follow, or you are searching online? What is your kind of strategy? What is your training plan like?
So no, not at all. Like I just see, like, at every stage of like having children, how depending how big they were and all that, I train at different methods, I would say. But I used to run as much as I can every week, but it didn't work. And I remember someone gave me this book, which was about, I think it was called Run Less, Run Faster. And it was about doing those 3 basic trainings every week, we just stick to. So the intervals, the tempo, and the long run. And then trying to fit in an extra training on top of that, like either an exercise class or an extra run or a park run or anything like that. I've never stick to a plan because I find it quite difficult working. I've got busy work, work in a hospital. I do 12-hour shifts, and I do days and nights, so it varies every week. So I find sticking to a plan is very, very difficult because I can't run every single Monday, and I can't run every single Thursday. I have to shift and change every week. So I just do it like kind of try to set myself those 3 runs a week and then add extra whenever I can. But I felt it works really well when I trained for Rome, and I did without anyone's help. It was purely my own. I managed to break 4 hours, and I finished the race in 3:50, which I'm still very proud of. But I feel I need to find something else now because I feel like I plateaued. Like, you know, I haven't achieved anything in running in the last few months. So I feel like I need some change. So maybe a coach is something I will consider, especially when my boys starting to go to nursery and school. I might be able to have more time and stick to a plan a bit more than I was able to do at the moment. But I know setting unrealistic goals, it's not something that would work for me. That's why I never follow the plan, but it's something I'll consider, definitely. I have to if I want to improve, I think.
Yeah, it is like that as well. You are saying, I love what you are saying, because you are saying you're never like good to sticking to your plan, but you are still like running those marathons, and it doesn't happen like that because you need to train to be able to.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. So I do stick to a plan of like there's 3 runs a week. That's for sure, and I increase my mileage, so I make sure my intervals are longer and my tempo run is longer. My long runs are longer and more intense, and and all that. But I don't particularly follow the plan like from A to Z and make sure like you do 6 miles today and 8 miles tomorrow. I was very like open to changes, I would say. So yeah, I can't say I've got a specific plan in mind.
Okay, I understand. Like I do believe personally that working with like a coach is a good idea. Like because I've done just a couple of marathons, and actually they were similar to yours, because I've done London was my first one, and then Berlin was my second one. So with the second one, I was working like with a coach, and when I got like my training plan, I improved like a lot, like honestly. And I actually, because I was so busy with work, my child, like business, like everything, I actually said to myself, I don't have the time to search online. It's like, I just want somebody to tell me what to do, and just, just stick to it. And I improved, like, it was a difference, like it was over 25 minutes difference with my 2 marathons. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was, and I think that, it was really, really good. I personally believe that, if you would like to achieve something, and if you kind of have a goal, it's good to ask somebody who's already done it, regardless of whether it's running, I don't know, business, fitness, like anything. So definitely, I can say that it helped me. So, if you would like to kind of maybe improve, do something different, but consider that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, definitely something for me to consider. Yes. Yeah, I've looked into that, but I just never made any realistic plans. But yeah, I've looked into that.
All right, Anna. So, like, because I know I don't even know what's the time, because I don't have like any watch like next to me. I know that you said that. What's the time right now?
And it's fine. It's 20 to 1. It's fine. I think I was really worried my boys will interrupt me, but they're good.
They are good. They are well. Are they very quiet? Because if they are very quiet, it's dangerous. Like.
No, it was actually my husband is looking after them upstairs, so they
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
very
that's
good.
fine. Okay, lovely. Okay, Anna, I would like to ask you to kind of say because different moms are watching like the show, and they kind of get inspiration from like people like you, and if you kind of would like to say like few words like to moms who are thinking maybe about starting running, but they feel that they are not good enough, they cannot do it, how on earth they can ever run a marathon, how to fit it around the busy mommy life, like what would you say to them?
I would just say, as I said in the beginning, like listen to your body and don't don't expect too much of yourself, and set up realistic goals. And yeah, perhaps even listen to other people giving you advice, because yeah, but I guess we all the same. Like I struggle, and like we all do. We all have good and bad days, but it's all about the balance in life. And um, I think if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Well, you are such a true inspiration, honestly, like, running all those marathons, half marathons, with like, having 2 little boys, and also combining this with your job. It's, as you said, like, if you can do it, like, anybody can do it. And as you shared, like, at the also like during this show already, you said that, what running is giving you, this is like time for yourself. This is the time when you can distress yourself. You can just relax.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yes. Exactly. Yeah.
And also, like you were saying, yeah. Go ahead.
No, sorry. It was interrupting. Sorry, I didn't quite hear.
And
it's been a great pleasure talking to you as well. It's lovely. Yeah. I love watching your videos as well. You're exercising, and yeah, I love what you do. So good luck for the future as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I would like to wish you good luck, with everything what you are doing. Because, good luck with the Vilnius Marathon. It's in September, we said, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
It's in September. So you're already like training for it?
Yeah, I go running now and again, but yeah, I said like from 1st of June, I start proper training. So so today.
1st of June, exactly. This is like,
Yeah.
today. I know, it's like always like kind of okay. At the moment, I can run a little bit like that, but once I have like 3 months or something, then it gets a little bit more serious. So then you need to do that. And I just want to ask you like a couple of like last questions. Like when you are training, because you are saying that you have like different jobs, are you training more like in the morning, during the day, or in the evening, or it varies for you?
Oh, it's really varies. Like I don't have regular lifestyle. My job is not 9 to 5. And on top of everything, my husband goes away for work as well. So it's all about fitting those making time for exercise whenever I can. So it depends. There are days where I drop Oscar at nursery and I go for a run with the buggy with my younger one. There are days where my husband comes back from work about 6 p.m. and I go for a run there. Sometimes after, I don't know, stressful day at work, I come back home at 10 p.m. and I go for a quick run then. Just to de-stress. Like occasionally I do that. Like if I need to clear my head and and there are times where I get up really early when I feel really motivated and I go for a run at 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it just depends every week. I look a week ahead, what we're doing, what are our plans in our family, and I see wherever I can fit any exercise or that's why it would be difficult for me to stick to a plan, because sometimes I just get half an hour on Monday in between other things, or I get an hour on Thursday, and so I can't stick to exact plan. I try to do a long run every weekend because I'm off usually at least one day at the weekend, so I definitely do a long runs then in the morning. But I think if it was my choice, I would my preferred time for runs is in the morning after good breakfast, a little while later. But life doesn't let me do it very often, so I just take whenever it comes, whatever I can make of it. I think I'm very lucky. I've got a very supportive family. Whenever I'm in Poland, my brother and my sister are always happy to look after my kids, so they let me go for a run. My husband lets me go for my marathons, sometimes joining me, other times just letting me go. My mother and father-in-law, they always happy when I go abroad and they look after the children, and kids love staying with grandparents, so they always ask me when I'm running next marathon because they want to have a sleepover at grandparents. So I feel like everyone is happy. And being active and running is what keeps me happy, and as long me being happy means my kids are happy as well, so it's a good balance, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, magic words. When you are happy, like your kids are happy as well. Yeah, happy mama, happy children. So it's
Definitely,
so
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I love what you just said. Everybody's happy. So important to have like the supportive family. But I think also when they see that you feel happy and you feel like fulfilled as a person, as a woman, when you do that, they see that they want to support you, because they know that it's important for you, so they are happy to help. All right, like last question, Anna, like if you can tell us like what keeps you going, what motivates you, like to do this, like in the morning or in the evening after tired days, like what keeps you motivated?
Like just having a goal in some, like knowing that in 10 weeks I'm running this marathon, and I know I have to train. That's definitely keeps me going. And you know, I love looking at my medals, and and I've got my big map where I put start. Actually, I can show you because I've put it here, so I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but I kind of put little stars on
oh,
where I've been running. Oh, you can't really see it, but
well, we can see that. Yeah, it's amazing.
but yeah, just looking at my map and thinking like, oh, one day this whole map will be filled in with lots of different stars, and and my room will be filled with medals. I think that's my plan.
That's your plan. Well, okay, good luck with that then. Like, you know, good luck with like putting all those stars to every single country, and you know, good luck with everything and going beating your personal best. You know, good luck with training. So Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us on this International Kids Day, because you know today is the day to eat ice creams with children. Yeah. I'm planning to take.
Gonna do that later.
Yeah, we'll do that as well. So thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for your story, which is like such a true inspiration. Like you shared so many golden nuggets here that I love. I know that, you know, people who are watching live, they loved it, and people will be watching the replay as well. If you have like any questions to Anna, please post them under this video and she will reply, she will get back to you. If you want to connect with Anna, she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, and you know, if you have any questions to her personally, like connect with her. I'm sure that she will be happy to help. And yeah, so Anna, like good luck with everything for, you know, for the future, and keep us posted what's up for you.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you so much for being with us, and yeah, wishing you absolutely all the best.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.